you tell me where the hope has gone? Can you tell me where the love went wrong? Do you remember what it sounds like? We can turn the love back on. We can turn the love back on.
All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ink Radio Podcast. We took a week off, but, we've come back strong after E3. All of us hung out there. We had a good time. So let's introduce everyone again. How's it going, Kendall?
I'm doing great. What's going on, guys? It was a fun time off. Had a great time in Cali when we were there. Glad to be back. Somewhat glad to be back home. So, yeah.
And you, Walkman?
I'm doing pretty good myself. Obviously just came from the same trips as you guys, so nice to relax for a little bit. And honestly, since like the week or so after E3, we've had a lot of great news to talk about as well, so I think it's going to be good.
And how about you, Nine?
I had a good weekend.
Wow, really? Like, you got to cast the whole event. You're like, yeah, I had a good weekend. It was, I had a nice stroll. I talked to some people, networking.
Best event of my entire life. I could go on and on forever about all the great things that happened that weekend, but just remarkable. All the way through. The production was great. The people that I worked with was great. The crowd was great. The event was great. The matches were awesome. Of course, that Set of Destroy X versus Back Squid's gang was maybe the greatest set of Splatoon that I've ever watched. The last 3 games, all like one play away from flipping. And then, like Walkie said, there's been a lot of great news since we got back from E3 too. So it's a good time to be in the community and enjoying the game.
No, Nine. Twitter told me the game's dead.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, the game's dying. I'm sorry to misinform you, Nine.
My bad.
For real, it was great. By the way, for those of you who are wondering, because someone did mention this shirt, so these were actually supposed to be shirts we were supposed to wear at E3, and I was supposed to give them to even Nine included, because we were like, yeah, let's throw shirts away. But the T-shirt company, they're stupid. So we didn't get them. I got them for free in the end. Thank you. But yeah, so they were too late. So I have a bunch of shirts that look like this. They're polos. They're pretty nice. Anyways. Yeah, so I guess just a brief recap really quickly. E3, that's why we took a week off, is because we just all need to rejuvenate and kind of take a small break. And there wasn't too much going on the week before that. We already had a big E3 cast, so just to kind of calm down, now that we've kind of passed that point, how do you guys feel about the event now looking back on it?
I mean,
Nine, go ahead, man. Come on, we all want to hear your part.
My thoughts on the invitation. Do you mean like structure or the results or what part in particular?
Okay, so you've already mentioned how your actual experience was as like a person.
Right.
But I guess what I want to hear from you, Nine, is what's the difference in casting a super high-end production of a Nintendo caliber compared to, like, I don't know, an SNS or an online event?
Well, the 8 hours of rehearsal we did the day before was pretty different than what we're used to. A lot of online events is show up 30 minutes early, kind of lay out some notes, and then you run with it. But there was that too. There was also, knowing who we were casting to, we had to really bring things down to bite-sized chunks that we could kind of very quickly say and then toss back and forth. Commentating with 3 people was very unique. Jordan did a great job of kind of facilitating all that, but it just means that whatever you said, you had to say very, very quickly. And I don't know, there was a lot of pressure at the start, but then once the game started, it just became another Splatoon event. So it's awesome. They treated us so well there. The players got treated well. I know the casters and the talent got treated well. So Nintendo takes care of us, that's for sure.
All right. And how about you two? Just a brief recap, since we already had a whole cast about it.
Yeah, I mean, nothing too much to say. We said it on the last couple episodes, but Props to Nintendo for that whole event, and I'm excited that it at least seems like we're getting maybe another one in 2019 as well, since there's a European Championship announced again. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that it seems like they're keeping it up.
Oh, too calm. It was one of the highlights of my year personally. I mean, some people still saying like, "Yo, your wedding still hasn't come." I'm telling you right now. I went to a fucking I'm not excited about standing up in front of an altar. All right, we already got married in December, so this is gonna like. I'm sorry to say, the Invitational was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every last moment of it. Just even getting to see the like Mr. Nogami, getting to see Sakurai, like everything, just from getting to see Nine on stage, like going in with like the other commentators, like I enjoyed every last moment of it. Like it was, I'm sorry. I if they have it again, I would love to go again. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Seriously.
All right. Well, I guess we'll hop right into it because hot off the presses, right after E3, we got the signing that no one knew about ever. Ghost Gaming gets signed. Team Olive signs Ghost Gaming, which is actually really, really big. I don't know if anyone wants to start off with this article and kind of bring it forward. Walkman?
Walkie for sure.
Why me? Just because I'm friends with them? God, all right.
I mean, why else?
You have to.
Wow, all right.
Honestly, I'm super excited for these guys. It's going to be amazing, at least for them. From what I know, obviously, they're going to be trying to attend every major LAN possible. So I know they're working on already LISS. I can't confirm or not whether it's true, but I know they're working on it. But
Work fast.
yeah. So they're obviously, going to try to get to all these LANs. And the thing I'm most excited about is, all right, we'll all admit that SNS4 wasn't the greatest competition for STDS. Squidstorm really wasn't either. But now it seems like we're going to get consistent competition, at least at every LAN. It's like, even if, there's a lot of people who kind of like don't really like Olive, they're going to root against them. But you can't deny that at least like there's going to be some fight every single semifinals.
Oh my God, Walkman! You just roboted out. He's frozen in a really beautiful position right there.
Screen cap. Somebody screen cap it. Screen cap it. Screen cap.
I'm really big. Others. Oh, okay. My bad.
He's still talking.
Next slide indeed.
Okay, Walkman, you there? Oh, he's gone. Is he back? Oh no. Hello? You still a robot? You good? Oh no! Looks like he's karate chopping the table.
No.
Am I good now?
Maybe try now.
For now,
say
yeah.
something.
Am I good?
Yeah.
I was connected to the wrong Wi-Fi.
Oh, okay, great. All right, so go ahead. Continue what you were saying about Team Olive before you did your freeze
Who
frame.
connects my computer to a different Wi-Fi though? That's the real question. Is like who goes out of their way to disconnect from one Wi-Fi and put it in another? All right, but where did I cut off?
The competition and
It
tournaments.
was a while ago, man.
All right. You can't deny though that there's at least a chance for either team to win on each side. Then there's also things like Deep Blues has gotten really good as well, and they're a consistent LAN team, or a team that comes out to LAN. So I'm liking where the LAN scene seems to be going. And then beyond that is we finally got another big sponsor. Another team that's sponsored is huge. It's going to create storylines just by the fact of their name, not even if they do well or not. Just their name is going to do amazing things for us. So I'm really excited about this.
Yep. I guess now we're going to have the fight for third place.
I mean, you never know.
That's
Like,
true. I mean, it didn't happen at G5.
I really think like Deep Blue is headed in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I'll reiterate. I think it's a good. It's great. It's really good for the scene to have more sponsors into the scene, especially ones of this kind of caliber where like they can actually go to LAN events. It's just always good, and it just means that the more companies that are willing to invest, the more it piques other companies. Like, I don't know if you saw, but I saw some Echo Fox people being like, "It's great to see people supporting Splatoon." Like, I don't know. That's kind of weird that an Echo Fox manager is saying that someone should support Splatoon if they're not willing to support it themselves. It sounds like something that is piquing interest in other people as well. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it. I think it's good overall, in general, for everyone. I think the more sponsored teams, a lot easier it is for us as like organizations to be okay with like doing things that involve monetary value. Like if we run a tournament with a buy-in, it's like we can say it's okay because these companies are funding that tab. It's not like the little Jimmy 12-year-old over there, you know?
And I think, from my perspective, the most important part about all this, for me at least, is we've all talked about how Olive have been, or formerly Olive, now Ghost Gaming, their players have been the foremost content creators in the scene. Of course, we've all seen what Dude has done. The subscriber count speaks for itself. Sendo's been streaming all the time and running a lot of tournaments as well. Sendo's Ladder. I think more than anything, this shows that, of course, they're amazing players too, but it shows that if you market properly in this scene, good things can happen to you. There are sponsors that are willing to look at you and pick that up and see what that branding is capable of doing. And I think that, content creation is something that teams and people still struggle with. So this points in a direction that if you do it and you're consistent about it and you play that game, there is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, so to speak. Not guaranteed, but at least there's something. And again, everything that you all have said, I agree with. It's great that LANs are going to have some real competition and a new storyline.
Well, well, on top of that too, I think that it just paves the way for more sponsors to potentially come in just with this, because you see one person pick it up, they're like, "Hey, why am I not in on this?" They picked up someone else too. Oh, let's look into this more.
Yeah, and a little bit on that is obviously Olive was a European team. A European team just beat one of the best teams supposedly in America. And maybe that's going to be like, hey, why don't we look at these European guys? Bring them over. They're going to maybe win these LAN events for us. They're going to do all this. And that just already looks good. So definitely a lot of potential there. And just like want to throw this out there, the guys on Back Squids, you have like a golden ticket for if you want to like reach out to maybe some organizations or something like that. Hey, we just beat the best team, so maybe throw something at us. We'll help you guys, help us. Everybody will be happy at that point. So definitely a lot of potential.
Kendall, you want to add anything to that?
The only thing I was really going to add is that it kind of gives more teams something to work to. It kind of proves that like your hard work won't go unnoticed, and if you're actually able to show some worth to it, along with, you don't have to do a lot of content creation with it, it would be great. But I think that it really does show that people are looking, and if your team can put like the best face forward and also like just show that like there's value to your team, it will add more to the scene just in general. So also it just equals the fact that people have to go out and go look for these opportunities also. Don't just hope that they're going to just come to you. So that's really it.
All right. Well, speaking of jumping on opportunities, you should jump on Inkstorm Cup. That's coming out July 14th and 15th, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the right weekend date? Okay. July 14th and 15th, where you can potentially win a trip to Japan. 2 teams get flown out to Japan. From what I know, it's all expenses paid minus food. Like you get your housing and your airfare cost. And you get to go to Japan and compete in the LAN for the Japan League.
It's
Platinum Cup. Yeah, the Platinum Cup. So that's pretty dope. It's huge. It's going to be run by Endgame TV. So everyone go tune in, support that. It comes right off of the sponsorship of Ghost Gaming, which is like the perfect storm, in my opinion. Is like you have this massive online tournament where all those sponsored teams are going to be playing with it's not a prize pool, but it's a big prize, you know, like you have to think that that's like maybe what, 10 grand minimum.
Oh yeah, depending on the countries that they come from, it's even more.
Yeah, that's per team I'm talking, not just.
Oh yeah, that's probably right.
That's 10 grand per team. You're talking like 20 grand, 20 plus just for 2 teams. So
are they getting subs too?
I don't know about.
No,
I mean, I don't know the details.
Purely for tickets.
Okay.
But still, that's insane. So everyone should go sign up for that. It's free to enter. So there you go. I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on this overall? I mean, we're all gonna say it's great, but does anyone have any insight to add on to this?
All right. Go, Ken. No, I talked a lot on last one. Kendall, go start off.
I wasn't even gonna say anything crazy. I mean, it kind of adds another like avenue onto like what we're talking about, like sponsors teams. If any other team that can cause that upset for like, I mean, I don't know who you have for like your automatic picks for the two teams that are gonna be going. But if any team obviously makes some type of an upset or even like is able to go, it's just another thing to add to like your resume of being like, yeah, we made it to Platinum Cup and we were just even able to go. We were like the number 2 or number 1 team or whatever it is, however it's working, to make it over there. And it's like another goal of just like, wow, like we made it here. And like, this is another reason why we should be sponsored. Also, it's just kind of crazy looking at like where Splatoon has come from, where a team actually has an opportunity, 2 teams have an opportunity to even go to Japan to play this game, and where the game is actually like really just massive. And it's coming from like the beginning of Splatoon, I probably would have been like, yeah, nobody's ever going to Japan for this game, this, that, and the third. Like, I seriously, if you were to ask me like 3 years ago, whatever it was, I would have been like, yeah, this game's not going anywhere like that. Like, nobody's going to Japan just to go play Splatoon. Like, you got to be crazy. But like looking back now from like where we are and just like having 2 teams that have an opportunity to go play in Platinum Cup, like it's just wild to me that it like, even when Endgame dropped it, I was just like, oh, something major is happening. So it's really just showing this just in the past couple months, just like how many things have happened just in Splatoon in general, to like just seeing the scene grow. So, and being able to see one of them. So yeah, that's just my piece.
Yeah, I think honestly this is just tremendous for so many reasons. First one is that Japan is kind of like, the Japanese scene is taking interest in our scene a lot more lately, it seems. Obviously with Kachu Fujitsu at SNS4, that kind of bridged the barrier. Maybe what happens if we get, you know, international people playing in the same environment? And then obviously with this as well, it's just huge because, like Kendall said, if you make it over there, it kind of is like making it to like an E3 type of event. You're like the top 4 or so around. That's it. Nobody can say anything else about you. So it's going to put you on a tremendous spotlight, especially since it's going to be streamed on both Twitch and OpenRec. It's going to give you a lot of, you know, international hype around your team as well. So if somehow a non-sponsored team is able to win that, that's another big ticket.
That's what I'm saying.
That's another big ticket. Like we've had a bunch of opportunities now where, all right, maybe you're not winning money directly for the event, but work towards it. You might get it.
I'm gonna say that. Okay, I'm actually gonna call out everyone here. All you people who are non-sponsored. So this doesn't apply to STX and Ghost Gaming. You got your chance. You can sit back. You can relax. I know you want to go to Japan, but listen, all these people who are really good better start grinding your ass for this tournament, okay? Because if you become one of the people who make it through there, you are literally getting free airfare that a sponsor does not have to pay for, and they get their recognition for being on it in one of the biggest tournaments. So I don't know. I would just say I would flaunt that. I would just be like, hey, I just want a tournament where I get a free trip to Japan and you can get your name on it if you offer me other things in the future. I don't know. It saves them $8,000 for a trip. I don't know.
Yeah. No, there's no question that whatever team if an unsponsored team gets to go, like Waki said, this is like the golden ticket. And because of the age restriction too, I feel like it's a little bit more attractive of a sponsorship too. It's 16 plus, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so 16 plus. So it's not quite 18 plus, But let's say that a group of all 18 plus people, that's a box checked off. They're all adults. You can move them around easily without needing a parent. They're already very good. They already have international experience against the top teams in an online and an offline setting. So, yeah, everything about this is good. Of course, bridging of the gap. I know that there's been work on trying to bridge the gap in the past, but I remember the moment that this got announced, one of the first things we said was where did all this money come from? Is there the amount of money that's going to go into this is remarkable, and I think that it bodes well because, like you said, there's some real muscle behind this, and teams should really take advantage of it.
And I think the money is really big in Japan right now for Splatoon. That is where the scene is at in terms of monetary value right now. They have tons of full-time streamers just for Splatoon at this point, so it's crazy there. So yeah.
I had one more thing to say, and I'm just completely forgetting it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna. You just forgot what you were gonna say.
Yeah. Just on, at least for the team, obviously, just to show how good of an opportunity it is. It's if somehow you win this, obviously everyone on Ink TV is going to be talking about you, so all our followers will know. Everybody on Endgame TV's followers will know, and then also everybody on Japan who watch you on Open Rank, probably I'm gonna say at least around 50,000 or so plus viewers from Open Rec will probably end up watching the event or something like that. So lots on the line here.
Yeah, it's a pretty big stage to go on about. It's worth a shot. You should be practicing for this. That's about it. So I guess we'll go into other teams practicing. Ludi was just announced, and they had the highest signups that they've ever had of 200 teams. Let's just briefly cover it. That's a good thing. Having 200 teams in a league is a good thing. Do you guys have any thoughts about the tournament itself? The only thing I'll say is that I wish that Ludi became more stream oriented and marketed better in that sense, because it feels like everyone knows about the league, but the signups are a big part, and then everything just kind of fades out right after. No one really cares about it for 8 weeks.
Yeah, that's honestly it to me. Is yeah, you got these 200 plus signups, but to me, I don't care after the season is done. I really don't. I don't even know who won the last Ludi. I literally can't tell you, and I casted it. It was Ethereal versus Saikai, and I don't remember who won. That's how important it was to me. I think it was Ethereal.
It was Ethereal.
Okay.
I think it was Ethereal.
Because that's when we were talking about are they the best team in the West? Yeah.
Yeah. See, it took me a while just to even remember that. It's come on, it doesn't mean too much, but I mean, obviously, it's not really meant to have a prize or whatever. I'm sure they want one, but it's really just to get people playing the game. That's kind of where they reach out for, is all these people who can't play in tournaments consistently, just play Ludi, and that's where most of this, and especially it's bigger, I guess, internationally, just outside of Japan. That's where all the South American teams are, and wherever, Australia, they all sign up for the same event. So it's kind of cool that they play together. But
yeah,
other than that, I don't
I
really
said
care much about Ludi anymore.
Yeah. What do you think, Nine?
I think we're in a phase of the game right now where we've got all sorts of great achievements, but we need marketing, and we need to expose these players in this league. And I think that that's the thing that is not holding us back, but that I think could really take Ludi to the next level. Because leagues are great, people enjoy leagues, people enjoy following teams, and a consistent thing that they can tune into. It's why every major sport in the world has a league that people can follow, but it's because people watch it. So I don't know exactly, what the solution there is, but I think Waki kind of hit the nail on the head. There's, I'm sure, been some amazing sets in Ludi that people don't remember because of that exact thing. And, maybe it's once a week and each div gets one match streamed. I don't know what it needs to be, but there's a lot of great stories that need to be told. And until we find an efficient way to tell them, I think that there's just money on the table, figuratively speaking, or literally.
Well, going off your point, I was just gonna say it sounds messed up, but I mean it sounds like the easiest way to just do it is just your highest division, just stream those. Literally, just like stream the highest division, and like I feel like people would watch that. I'm just talking about in general, like whatever, like what used to be S division, just stream all those matches. People would definitely watch it just because of the name value.
I mean, they end up streaming kind of the playoffs, or at least sometimes they reach out to people to stream them. So
yeah,
those get kind of streamed a little bit. But back to what Nine was saying about there needs to be, well, pretty much everybody said at this point is that there needs to be a little bit more publicity. And honestly, there's not even a place where like I can just go up and look up the results consistently. Like I don't know where to do that as a viewer. Can I go up and look for whoever won Division 2B? I don't know if that's a thing, but who just won that game? Like, was there any place I could look for that like consistently, or is that just on Challenge? There should be like some website or something that literally has all of them.
Well, so like I said, my big thing is even if you're not going to stream, which is understandable, like it takes a lot of work to run a full stream like that, right? Like we said, we do this and we still have hard time trying to find scheduling to run tournaments and stuff, right? Like Thursday is our day and Tuesday's my day for this, right? So it's hard to consistently find things. So I can get behind the streaming, but that being said is like I feel like just the publicity for it is kind of lacking in general. Like I feel like on Twitter you could do player profiles of people on teams to kind of build up just Ludi in general. You could just do better marketing, graphic design. Like if you can't do one thing, then emphasize the other, if that makes sense. So like you said, maybe focus on like a way to check the standings or track players or get bios of players or things like that if you can't do the streaming side of things.
And I guess you can go on the Discord, click on the challenge link, that'll take you 5 seconds, all right? But there should still be like some place where not every division on that challenge is separate, so you need to click through a bunch of different things. It's not like all streamlined into one. So there should definitely be some place where I can look at all of them on the same platform, at least, and be like, hey, these are the good guys, and these are the guys that are almost as good, whatever. But it's too many different places to look for it, in my opinion.
Well, I guess we'll stop talking about the actual event of Ludi and kind of go into X rank. Have you guys had a chance to see who's in X division?
I didn't get a chance.
Okay, where do you find this?
You go to the Ludi Discord server. Okay. You go to important info or news or one of those, and it should be there. It should be the first link, I guess.
All right. Well,
these used to get like posted at one point in time.
I mean, and that's the thing is like we always talk about how Discord is probably one of the worst places to actually like get yourself out there, and that's really the only place to find this.
Yeah, well, the big thing is that I haven't actually seen the list of every division. I've just seen teams post that they're in divisions, but I haven't ever seen the full list.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I know. Should be Kraken Paradise, Saikai.
I know that
good
Tomo
EU pickups.
and STDX aren't in it.
Yeah, Tomo, STDX, and Deep Blues are not in it, which honestly, to me, is fine. There's no prize, so.
Oh, here we go. Andrew with the hot post. He gave us it. We have, Kraken Paradise, Amatus, Rasu, Chikara, Oblivion, Upgrade, Orcs Black, Ghost Gaming, Saikai, Bonanza Brothers, Rezen, Phantom, and Prophecy. Sounds like a decent X rank, I guess.
Yeah. The only one to me that's kind of questionable is the Bonanza Brothers or whatever, but there are some decent EU players. I just don't know if they actually played in an event besides the Ludi seeding tournament, and which I don't think they did very well in either. But.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I guess we'll get into viewer questions because a lot of them are related to everything we're talking about, so I feel like it just makes the most sense. And I think we'll have a good time with them because.
Are you gonna go over the 18 of the same viewer question?
Yeah, that's all.
No. So I do want to post that and say that I am going to completely ignore everything that's said. And also, we're
Can
not...
I not ignore it?
Well, one thing I do want to add is that we're not associated with Ludi in any way. So you spamming us just makes me not care about you, period. So just don't spam the questions, please. Let me see here. So Jordan, our own Jordan, made a question. I thought it was actually pretty good. With things like all of being signed by Ghost Gaming and Inkstorm Cup featuring a trip to Japan for the top 2 teams, what do you think our scene will see next?
What will the scene see next? I'm going to go ahead and say a third sponsored team. That is.
I think that's inevitable.
I think it'll be sooner. Let me clarify. I think that'll be sooner rather than later.
Let me ask you a question, Nine. Do you see another team getting sponsored, like a third big sponsor, or an $1,000 online event happening first?
$1,000 online event.
Okay.
I think that's a sooner rather than later situation. Both. I think that like all of this happening right now is the
good.
gas. Well, yes, but I was going to say I think it's the gas pedal, and now it's just what signs we're going to see along.
I think it's taking the big risk. I think it's like a giant bubble, and we're just hoping that the bubble keeps becoming bigger instead of bursting at the end. I think that's the best way to describe it.
That's the way that we're putting it. We're just like, it's going. It's like, we're all kind of holding our breath because this is all new. Like, every part of this, we're all just kind of surprised by it. So we have no idea what to expect. Or unless, I don't know, the chat is saying that Walkman knows things.
I really don't. Like, that was literally a question. I don't know if what will happen first. Like, even if I knew about a $1,000 online event, which I don't, what's to say that, you know, a team doesn't get sponsored before then anyway.
I mean, it's not the most insane thing to think that $1,000 tournament could happen now. Let's put it that way. BNS got a $400 prize pool by straight donations, so a $1,000 event is really not out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a good thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I'm kind of with you on that, Nine. I think you'll see that. I think you're going to start seeing more lands potentially from everyone, like local and larger scale lands as well. I wouldn't be surprised if you start seeing other orgs like out of us and Ink TV, like bigger companies coming in to try and stir it up a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if you see something like that too. On top of players, I think this is the moment where you're starting to see the momentum. I think Vesper put it best, is that we're not really a small scene anymore. We're kind of like a medium scene here, and we're growing a little bit.
We're actually, like, although we're not like the biggest thing outside of our community, I mean, inside the community is still pretty big. Like, just to like put this kind of in perspective, at least for like Ghost Gaming, they announced like 3 other teams the week before they announced signing Olive, and Olive like doubled their likes and retweets on every other signing. So we're pretty big-ish, at least compared to some of the other things. And I guess since I see it in the chat, what do you guys think is the next? Who do you predict would be the next signed team? And I guess for me. And then another question is that, do you think it's a team that already exists, or will it be some type of strong pickup coming together to get signed, something like that? But
there's
at least for NA, I think it's Deep Blues, and I think they deserve it anybody else, even over Tomo.
Yeah,
Deep Blues, and a long gap before the next one. If only because Deep Blues, like you mentioned earlier, is a consistent presence at LANs. There are lots of great teams that compete online, but you've got to be able to go to LANs because those get the most viewership. Like you said, Deep Blue's most consistent results at LANs. They're all the time. Big moments. So yeah, it's Deep Blues in NA, and it's not even close, I don't think.
Can I be real? Can I be real? Deep Blues has Prodigy. That's enough there, said it right there, right in that. He's just too smart of a guy to not allow, like, for any opportunity that they have, like, if they ever want to land, or like say for instance, like something big to come in second, he's gonna take up any opportunity he can to get them like sponsored at least. I have to give Prodigy props for that, just from working with him and stuff like that. So he's a very, very, very smart guy. So yeah,
Prodigy OP.
I find it kind of interesting as well that I don't know whether the players left or got kicked, but Deep Blues like minimized their roster to 5, which is kind of like the standard-ish for sponsor 4-5. But so I think they're moving well in that direction.
Yeah. So.
But as for European teams, I don't know. Maybe Kraken Paradise deserves it the most, but they're not very marketable.
Yeah, I think the only other team that potentially has a chance, I was going to mention that Tomo has a potential chance, but they're a lot of them are younger. I would say that's the only thing that really puts them back a little bit. And then I would say maybe the EU team, like the European Championship team, because it's essentially Pandora with Wadsum.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I hope they do something. Like they have a good opportunity to.
I want to
point out. I think Watsum himself should just get sponsored by like other people. Dude's a really nice guy. He's really good at the game. Really passionate about it as well. Like he fits well with teams, at least from what I've seen. And I think that he should get himself onto a sponsored team because he'd be really good for like the community and the LAN scene and stuff. He's just a jolly guy.
Yeah, and even if you watch his streams, they're actually pretty entertaining. I think Wadsum's a great guy. He's just started content creation-ish. He's been doing a little bit of YouTube in the past, but now streaming as well, and he's doing pretty well for himself. So I think definitely Wadsum is a good person to market around.
Yep. Prodigy, since we're talking about him, he asked top 5 picks for the top 2 for Inkstorm Cup. Who do you think are the 2 that are going to make it through?
Well, top 5, so you got to name 5.
Top 5? There's only 2 that get flown out.
Yeah, but you need to name the top 5 that will.
Oh, top 5 picks for the top 2 that will get in. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You guys go first.
All right, we're all gonna say SCDX and Ghost Gaming, obviously.
No.
At least in the top 5.
Oh, they're gonna
Spoon,
be. Okay, no,
you would. Spoon.
Shut up. No, please, let's not do this.
I'm not saying top 2. I'm saying top 5.
Oh, top 5. Sorry, top 5. Yeah. Sure.
Do we have another?
Sorry.
Spoon, no, you had that take and you backed up for it.
No.
I
really thought it was top 2.
He wasn't top 5. Oh, okay.
Because I can't name another. Honestly, I don't think I can name another 3 that I think.
You tried.
I love to be that guy, but I'm actually being serious.
I mean, just let me know when you want to lose more money, man. It's
Ooh.
All right, I want to say Kraken Paradise, but I believe Banana's under 16. So he doesn't get to play, and Banana's their best player, but they're still a good team without him. I think they still will make top 5-ish. So I'll give it to them. I don't know if Pandora's playing or not.
That'd be
I'm
big.
Not sure. I've heard they've been inactive right now. Plus, Echo is under 16 as well, I think.
I know Kaito's in the chat, so maybe he can confirm.
All right, yeah. So I'm gonna put Deep Blues at number 5. They're at literally 5, and
Who's 4?
Chikara.
3?
Wait, how old are the members of Chikara? I thought they were young too.
I don't know.
Probably.
I couldn't tell you, but it's hard because of this under 16.
Wait, Tomo's under 16, right?
Maybe one player, but
I was gonna say I'm
It
pretty
might
sure.
be Hachi. Hachi might be under 16.
Yeah, because I know that Toon, Kyo, and Quavo are all 16 or older. So it's just a matter of Hachi. I don't know Hachi's age, so.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if you're taking out that 16-year-old thing, then 100% Ghost Gaming and STDX are going to be... I would even say at this point, even Deep Blues might make it into the top 3, just because of the age.
Wow.
Like, think about it, though. Like, honestly, think about it. Like, we named 5 teams, and you're like, I can't think of anyone else anymore, because everyone else is under 16. So with that, it would be like, okay... Deep Blues can be in the top 3 at this point.
Okay, so Toon in chat saying Hachi is 18, Kyo and Quavo are 16, and I'm soon to be 22. So that means
that's a compete.
Yeah, Tomo's a top 5 team.
Okay, there we go. There's your fight for the top 3.
Top 3, yeah.
And it looks like a few members of Chikara are indeed 13 to 15, so that muddies that water a little bit. So we've got the two sponsored teams, we've got Deep Blues, we've got Tomo, and there's got to be at least one European pickup. You know there's going to be at least
right
one
there with
European
Kaido. Kaido says he's got Kronos, Gamer, and him and Wadzum, so.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, nice.
decent
That's
squad
a pretty
right there.
decent squad, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So I'd say, yeah.
I think it'll be pretty obvious who will be in the top. I guess who do you think the top two are going to be? I think is the important one. I think all of you are instantly going to say Ghost Gaming and STDX, but
I think that the over 16 bit is going to come into play here. I'd say Tomo is the favorite to knock one of those two teams off, but it's just not being able to have a consistent team. Like these teams that you know already have their set are going to be able to run through. So yes, I'm still going to say the two sponsored teams, but it's with good reason, you know. I feel like because there are lots of pickups that could do it, but there's a lot of people on those pickups that are under the age of 16. So
I'm actually going to agree this time and say it is the two sponsors. I know I was originally going to back out, but I reflected on it while you guys were talking. Yeah, Kendall, it's for real.
I'm going the opposite.
I'm going to explain why. I'm going to explain my logic.
Opposite.
Okay.
You two just flipped. You literally flipped your roles here.
We make this show entertaining. We don't make the rules. Actually, we do make the rules. Anyways, my point is that I think that this is gonna sound really stupid, but Fuzzy really wants to go to Japan.
No. There's nothing stopping STDX. No.
STDX really want it. You know what I mean? If the rest of the team doesn't want it,
STDX.
Fuzzy wants it so bad, man. Like after talking with him at E3, like I think it's like the best prize you could ever ask for. I think he is like, oh my god, STDX is gonna win the whole thing. Okay, just Fuzzy's gonna carry everyone. He wants it so bad, and I think Ghost Gaming is gonna make it in because, in a way, they have to show their performance. You know what I mean? Like they just got signed, they just got picked up, they got all this momentum. Having a nice like going to Japan after getting sponsored is like a really dope thing to have, you know? So I think they're working to try and get that to show off.
Kendall, you're up.
I really wish that we actually had a list of what we could actually see, but I don't know. I mean, I'm still under the impression that even though after the Invitational, yes, they did lose, but even teams that are strong teams, they have certain knockdowns. But I'm still going to go with STX as being number one. For that number two spot, I actually think it's a lot closer, and I can't actually just give it to Ghost Gaming just because they got a sponsorship. I mean, yes, they've had like a little of a rocky road getting there now, and I think that, in all honesty, I think that there's a chance that possibly seeing it, I think that Tomo actually could do it. I'm not gonna lie, but I actually could see them being that second team, with knowing that their whole team is actually being there. I definitely can see them being that second team. So I'm gonna go with that being the number two, just to being a team.
All right. For me, I hope it's those two. I think it will only be one of the two, though. I don't know which one, but I think only one of them, of Ghost Gaming and STDX, will actually be in the top two. But yeah. And I guess I'm just gonna throw it out there. Ghost Gaming is gonna win it all. I'll say it. I'll just be some stupid on a limb and say that they're going to win it all.
Wait a minute. Isn't there no grand final?
Yeah, there's no grand finals.
Okay,
so it's just top two. But whoever wins winners finals, I don't care. You won the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't see Tomo getting it.
Really?
I love them, but I don't think they'll place top three. Kaido's pickup has a good chance, but
the only reason I'm going that direction is because of the age restrictions that we have. Plus, we haven't seen.
Yeah, the age restrictions destroy a lot of teams. They honestly do.
That's really the only reason I'm going Tomo at. Yeah. They
really do destroy a lot of teams, but I still think somehow they won't get top three. I don't know.
I think that with that happening, with a lot of the teams are a lot closer than we think they are.
Mm-hmm. Kaido's pickup is good. They're definitely top 5 material in my opinion. So hopefully they can do it, but I feel like one of those teams is just going to knock out one of the top two. So That's it.
Where do we think Deep Blues will finish?
Third or fourth?
Fourth. Okay. Now, this is definitely like a one number. You don't get to pick third or fourth here. Will they be fighting in losers finals? Really? Okay. Let me back up. Between Deep Blues and Tomo, who do you think has the better chance? Because I think that Deep Blues has been really working well recently and trying to close the gap.
But the thing is that it's still like, how do I explain it? Like, they just dropped 2 players. They're still working on it. Like, I think Deep Blues is like that team that will rise to the top. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think they're there yet. I think Tomo still has that pedigree.
Okay. No, that's sensible. So you have fourth place for them then?
Yeah.
Assuming our top 2 and then Tomo at third. Okay.
Yep. Kendall, you sound like you want to say something.
No, it's a Tomo.
Oh, Tomo. Okay.
Tomo.
All right. Does anyone want to add anything, or do you want to go on to the next question over here?
That's good. I'm sure by the time it actually happens, there'll be some other strong pickup that we don't know about, but yeah, it's always that one pickup you just never realize gets like third, fourth, or fifth.
All right. So I'm gonna answer a question. Storm thinks that I'm ignoring his questions, but the only reason why I haven't been answering them is because they get answered in one simple answer. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one for you. I'm gonna do one solid and answer this, but everyone's gonna answer the same thing. Okay?
I'm just gonna answer wrong on purpose.
I'm fairly new to organizing tournaments, but I'd like to ban Octolings from my tournaments because there could have been more Octoling hacks besides than early release. Your thoughts? Don't ban Octolings. They're out. There you go.
Ban them. Ban them all.
They were put in the underground for a reason. This is an Inkling tradition, not Octoling. No, they're fine. They're fine.
Yeah, no.
So, okay. Next question here is from, sorry, so much spam. I gotta find it. It's from Bob. Bob the Hobo is cool, obviously, our good friend. He says, what is one thing you think that TOs can do to improve the overall tournament experience for entrants? I guess the most common mistakes you see TOs make, new, old, or both. And in tandem, what is the one thing that players, teams, captains can do to make things easier for TOs? I don't know if any of you guys want to hit it off with something before I go into it.
One simple answer. Please, keep your names consistent. Like, I know that that's a very important expression of freedom. But me especially, as a commentator, it makes it so difficult for me to do my job. And I know that when you change names a lot, TOs don't know if they should seed you properly because they suddenly can't tell who is playing in the tournament. And I don't know how often that happens, but if it happens even once, that's an issue. And I know this is a fun hater, but the question asks, what can players and teams and captains do to make the job easier for TOs? There you go.
Well,
just keep your branding consistent or something to where TOs know at a glance who they can expect and who is playing and all these things.
Well,
and I know you can do that on Battlefy, but like just keep things consistent.
Not
and
only
easy.
that, I think it's just a respectful thing too, right? Like if you're saying that this is, I don't know, I'm just gonna say Kyo. Let's say it's Kyo, but he's got the name as like Bread Liquor 42.
His name right now is Potassium, so use that.
Exactly. But we're all saying Kyo to a casual viewer, like they're just like, what is going on? And of course, Nine's not going to sit there going, Potassium gets the blaster shot, you know? Like, it just makes more sense to have, like, consistency, or at least whatever the name is the name that we put on the roster. Because a lot of times, too, people, even if it's on Battlefy is the right name, you put a different name in the game, too. And it's like, just make things easier for everyone.
Yeah, and it's even Nine said it right there at the end. The keyword on that one, at least, was branding. With all this talk of sponsors and stuff like that, you never know. And it's like, who do I reach out to? I don't see Potassium on Twitter.
Actually, that's another thing I noticed is that STDX, unless they're specifically playing as STDX, they always change their name.
It's only Hexen and Fangwit, but
yeah,
so.
I don't know. I think that you'd want to promote the brand wherever you go, you know, helps you bargaining in the future. Just my take.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I guess
part of
there's
that.
some other things. All right, but now I finish it off.
I was just gonna say, if that's a solo queue deal, that makes sense because snipes happen and people constantly messaging you saying GGs after every game that you play. But definitely in tournaments, they always clean it up once like the big tournaments that are getting published go out. So.
Anyone want to add anything before I go on to a couple of things you can do? Or things that people can improve on the TO side. It's not just the players, right? It's both.
For the players, still don't wait 20 minutes to tell the TOs that something freaking went wrong. If someone didn't get in the freaking lobby by 5 minutes, you tell them then, not 10 minutes after you waited another 10 minutes. So yeah, definitely that's one thing you can do as a player. And then as TOs, at least from what I've seen recently, just ban people quicker. Like, that's it. People mess up. I don't want to hear any talk about it, especially when there's a stream going on and people are waiting to watch a game. Just ban people. That's it. All right, not really ban them, but kick them for the tournament, whatever. But yeah, that's all I got.
You got anything, Kendall?
And they all hit it on the head.
Yeah, I'm gonna say the same thing too. Is I think yeah, for TOing, you just tell us when something's going on. The first 30 seconds you think something's going wrong, tell us right away. Because if you wait, we just can't do anything, or your time is up and your time is compromised, and it's just not good for you in the end because we're going to enforce whatever is played. So you could say, oh, it's the other person's fault, but it's just as much your fault for not telling us. So that's the biggest thing, is if you want things to run smoothly, just tell us and we'll solve it then. It's easier to solve 5 seconds in than it is to solve like 10-15 minutes afterwards, right? And then the second thing I'll say for TOs is, yeah, I think things could be managed maybe a little bit better. You said bans issuing out before. We had a little kerfuffle with BNS last week regarding that, and we're gonna fix it in the future. But I think the bigger thing is this is like gonna take people for granted. Is I think the illusion of time waited is a big thing in tournaments. People think a tournament's running long when in reality it's just because you played sets so fast that you can't do it. So I think tournaments might want to go more into playing out all the sets regardless. Like, if you're going to play a best of 5, play all the best of 5. If you're going to play a best of 3, play all the best of 3 sets. That way everything finishes at a relatively similar time. And the illusion that you're waiting really long is not there anymore.
That's an interesting idea.
At least in group stages. I'm not talking about, like, obviously, like, if you're in a...
Right, once you get in bracket.
Bracket, like, it's a different story. But, I mean, in groups, everyone's always like, the top teams are like, I'm waiting an hour and a half. And it's like, okay, yeah, I understand that. But if we extended your sets to best of 5 and you played all of them and practiced, you wouldn't feel it. That's the thing. So...
No. To be fair, and so you just said it in groups, they don't want to play the other teams in groups. Those teams aren't as good as them, so...
Yeah, but, like... Either that or you're going to wait forever.
I'm pretty sure that I'm going to take this as at least Keo. He probably doesn't want to play a team that's ranked 200 when he's probably, his team probably ranked in the top 5-10. So
yeah, it's better than doing nothing.
So wait a minute, time out. Is the discussion here? Is the discussion here doing away with top teams in group stages, or is it if they're already in groups and that's a foregone conclusion, making them finish a full best of 5 set, even if it means they win all 5 games?
Yes,
because I think those are 2 separate discussions.
Because
I think they're both valid.
If you want to do away with top teams in a bracket setting, like sure, like if that's what they want overall, that could be something that's discussed. But I think the overall idea is that you want also newer teams to play the higher end teams too. And if you just completely eliminate that, it's like that's gone as well. I think if you did a best of 3, but you played all 3 sets, it's like one extra game, but it makes sure that everyone kind of finishes at the same time. I'm looking at it from like a time management perspective. I don't see that as fun
for anybody though. Like, that's still kind of waiting. Like,
it's the
what do you
illusion.
do?
It's the perception of it, right? Like, if I'm sitting here for 10 minutes doing literally nothing, or I'm sitting there for 10 minutes and I'm playing a set, it feels like everything's flowing on time.
The top team will still complain about it.
Yeah.
At least. And the lesser team might also complain that, hey, why do we just have to get wrecked another game? Like, why did you just make me do that?
I mean, we are switching. We're
Now
also
I don't want to
switching
play
our
the game
format
anymore,
around.
Spoon.
Well, we're switching the format around to make it so that top teams play lower end teams significantly less. So that's a little bit better, but yeah, I don't know. It's always fighting with that. Is like people have the illusion of time versus how much time has passed, and that's a big thing that we always try and tell people is like, we are finishing on time. You guys just don't think we are.
No, I mean, I think groups the way they are right now are completely fine. But what can you do?
Anyways, I guess we'll go into the next question. Let me see here. Let's see. Can we talk about how to support tournaments that are for new Splatoon players and newer team?
Who's that from?
That is from Nathan.
All right. There's got to be some reason, at least, for teams to want to join that newer tournament. Sometimes not just restricting the top teams from joining is enough. Like, at least with like Young Ink back in the day, you had the streaming, so it was like, all right, maybe we never get to be streamed on Squidboards, but hey, Ink TV will stream us on this, so you at least get some publicity for yourself. Because I find a lot of those newer teams, and I'm sure like Kendall can speak to this at LANs, is like those lesser teams, they complain about screen time sometimes. So definitely something that appeals to them. So if you can stream them, they'll love it. Especially since a lot of the time they can't stream themselves.
But that's my big thing is, I don't know. I feel like that's going to go away sooner or later at some point. Like, of course, we're all for newer teams, and if we may potentially look into running a younger team tournament, but right now that's not our focus. And I guess the point is like, at some point, we may have to start cutting that off and start focusing on the higher end teams, right? Like, we want the sponsors to be able to do that. And we're not going to lie, you get way more viewers if you watch higher end teams playing. Like, it's indisputable. The numbers are just there, right? Like, you play the more competitive skilled team, you play like the dude's team, you play STDX, you get the viewers on your channel. Like, it's just what it is.
Sorry, what was the original question again?
How do we encourage younger teams, younger tournaments? How
Teams
can we
for younger
support?
tournaments to reach out to people.
How to support tournaments that are for new Splatoon players and newer teams? I mean, like, just retweet it. I don't know, like, help market it.
So, like a new tournament.
Yeah, like, how do you support new tournaments
support
for
young
new teams?
How do you support Young Ink that didn't happen yet?
Make a prize pool, cut out top teams.
Nah, but then prize pools, I don't want them for the younger teams.
Why not?
Because you obviously, I don't want to say you didn't earn it, but you kind of,
It's an incentive.
If we don't have, like, I've told Spoon obviously about this a bunch of times, whole Ink TV. If you don't have the money for the bigger events, I don't think there should be it passed on to the smaller ones.
Well, and that being said, when we do, like, if there's
That's
like
why I was saying streaming, but yeah.
And to be fair, I'm not saying that you cut out like everyone. Like, you want to get up and comers, and you want to get like different things. But in the end, we want exciting matches, right? Like in the end, we're not going to look for a game that's going to go 3-0 and just get absolutely wrecked. It kills downtime for us, and it's just not good matches, right? You want to, how do I say it? You want to be able to highlight close matches as best as you can. So that means like in the group stages you want to try and find like middle end teams, and then in the finals you want to get to the very best, obviously, right? And I think that's the best way to go about it. Now to promote newer teams or newer tournaments is just, I don't know, advertise it everywhere. Advertise it on Reddit, our Splatoon 2, Squidboards, Twitter. Like there's tons of ways that you can do it. Make really nice images to it. Like just having text is not good enough. Having an image or a video is really nice too.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of it as well. Like some of the times, for I guess the lesser known tournaments, their graphics or logos are pretty terrible. So I think you gotta at least put some effort into them to at least make something appealing. There's always little things they can do that add up to at least maybe a couple more teams joining or a couple more people taking notice.
Yeah. Does anyone want to add anything to that?
No. Next question.
All right, give me just a second here. Let me pull it up. This will probably be the last question. Oh God, why can't I find it right now? I just had it. This is from Trico Splat. He says, what are 3 things that anyone can start doing now in order to improve the community?
3 things that everybody can do?
Yes,
so,
like anyone can do. It doesn't necessarily, like you don't have to just stop and be like, you need to learn Photoshop and start making images. But like, what do you think anyone can do?
Sure. So since I missed the last one, since I missed the last discussion, can I go ahead and start this one?
Yeah, go.
Okay. So number 1, watch tournaments if you aren't going to play in them. Ideally, you play in them, but I'd recognize not everyone is a player, so watch every tournament you can. Every time there's a new announcement, retweet it so that we get it out there. I think it was you, Kendall, who said something like, if everyone who watched the stream retweeted it, everyone would know about every stream and it would expand. The network is so big. If we just retweeted like the big tournament streams or the big tournament announcements. So that's number 2. Watch the stream or play in it, either one, depending on if you're a player or not. 2, retweet it. And then number 3, support the content creators for the game. Be that the streamers, be that the people who put things out on YouTube, whatever it is, support them so that there's incentive. And that can be watching them, it can be following them, it can be subbing to them if they have that. Just supporting the people who are putting themselves out there and trying to grow the game. Because it's fine if you aren't going to put in, the time. I recognize people are busy to grow the game via content yourself, but you can at least try to support the people who are doing that. So I think that that's assuming the most casual of Splatoon fans or someone who enjoys the game and plays it on solo queue. I'd say that those are 3 things that everyone can easily and realistically do that would go a long way if everybody did them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Building on what Nine said, if you're a player, you should be, trying to play in as many events as you possible.
If you play and go play.
Not it.
Go play.
Even beyond that, you should advertise that you're playing in the event. Why do you think whenever you register for a tournament on Smash GG, the first thing that says is, do you want to tweet this out that you're playing it? I think every platform should kind of have something like that. Battlefy for sure. I don't think they do. Maybe Spoon could talk about that, but
I don't actually know. If I'm being completely honest.
I don't think they have one. They probably should get one. It's literally 2 seconds. It's free advertisement for the whole event. Yourself, probably. Maybe if you get on stream. If you win it all, you never know. And yeah, that's easy. Definitely retweet way more stuff. The Splatoon community hates retweeting actually people's work for some reason. I don't know. They'll retweet a meme as many times as they want, but they won't retweet someone's YouTube video, even when they're on the same team as the person. And I'm not looking at top teams here. I'm talking about the lower guys. If your own teammates won't retweet your video, I'm not watching it. I'm sorry. And yeah, that's it. Just market way more than you need to right now.
Well, my favorite thing is always just building off of them is building more locals, and not just like, it doesn't have to be LANs. They could be just social events, and I think I was talking to actually Jordan about it. Is just like trying to bridge a gap between like other games and like there's already a game out there called Smash. Majority of you guys have local Smash scenes. That's really the biggest reason why Aeon. That's the biggest reason why Long Island Splat was made was because of a local Smash scene. A lot of the players do play Splatoon, and make them social events, make them fun. Try to get as many people as you can out to them, and it usually can start up into something bigger. There's multiple places that have done successful events. I think didn't Michigan recently have one?
That's not. So you're talking about like Grand Rapids, that event?
Great Lakes. Was it Great Lakes?
Great Lakes. It's one of the two. Great Lakes. That's actually fairly consistent though. They've been doing that for a little while. So, but yeah, no, there was a one fairly recently.
I know. I was just saying that they recently just had.
Oh yeah.
I'm just saying, like, even just make them social events. They don't have to be tournaments. It's just a great way to bring people out and like see how many people actually in your area play the game. See how many like. It's a great way to grow the game and great way to see other people just and supporting the scene just in general. So you never know, it can become another land. So I think that's a great way of doing it also.
Yeah. I'm gonna say first one is literally just watch a stream. Like I'm talking like the most low effort things you can do is like just watch. Watching is like the biggest support that you can give. The second is, like you said, promote it on social media. If you're excited about it, tweet it out. If we had every single person in a tournament retweeting, it'd be like 300. If we had every person who was in a tournament watching the stream, we'd have like 400 people consistently all the time. Like, these are things that no one thinks about that is like actually huge. And I guess, yeah, just be excited about things. Be excited to promote stuff to people. Those are like the biggest things that I could say. Like, you don't need to be a content creator. You don't need to help out with us. If you don't want to, you just simply have to do literally the lowest minimal thing. And that's like one of the biggest things that you can do to help people out.
Yeah, I think even beyond that is like if you do want to do some type of content or something like that, like just find whatever your skill is. Like, let's say you suck at the game or, you know, aren't popular enough where people will watch your video. Why don't you, you know, like all the Fortnite people do on YouTube, go make a montage of maybe Dude's clips, send it to Dude, hey, I made this montage of all your stuff. Do you think it's cool if I post it? And if Dude likes it, maybe he'll promote you, you know, right back. So that's all it takes is at least trying to do something.
Yeah. Yeah, I think actually the last thing I wanted to mention was actually be positive. Like, so many people are negative, man. Like people like solo queue sucks. Everything sucks about this game, but I'm still gonna play it competitively, and I'm a high-end competitive player. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, chill out. Like, just because it's on your mind doesn't mean you need to spew it everywhere. Let's put it that way. There are tons of things that I want to say that I just don't, because I know it's probably not a good idea to say. But for some reason, a lot of people don't have that, like, I don't know, conscious, where they're like, this is a bad idea, but I'm going to tweet it out anyways. I don't know. I think if we were all really, really positive about things that we were doing, like, to give an example, we have the trip where people can go to Japan, 200 entrants in a Ludi. A new person got signed on as a sponsor, and we just had a Nintendo US event, and people are still talking about the game dying all over the place. And it's like, what's wrong with you, man? Just shut up.
Yeah.
I'm very positive. I'm very positive about this game. Solo queue sucks. Don't ever say that again.
Oh my god.
Thank you.
Hey, Kendall's got a brand that he's got to.
But to be fair, it's contained to your own stream. It's not like all over Twitter.
I know.
See what I mean?
I very much support the scene. I love the scene. Solo queue sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. That's all I'm saying is, like, if you want to have your opinions, like you and me are opinionated people. Well, actually, all four of us are opinionated people, but there's a time and a place to be opinionated about things. Here's a good way to discuss it, right? But like going on Twitter and just being like, this is stupid, you guys should all feel bad about it, is like just a terrible way to do anything, you know?
Right.
I would never tweet that.
And to kind of further that, if we're all, like, to the original point of, like, retweeting tournament streams and content creators, like, if you're doing that, it starts to drown it out. Because, like we said, people hate retweeting stuff. It's for that reason that stuff like, is the game dying? Here's my poll. even gets out and big in the first place, it's not because it's a significant factor. It's because we just don't do a good job. And everyone does this, myself included. I suck at retweeting. I'm horrible at retweeting. I'm going to change that. But if the people who are positive do something as simple as retweeting, it starts to drown out the negativity that's there.
Everyone needs to be chaotic.
Oh my lord!
And I don't mean that, by the way, for those who don't know.
Hold on a minute.
Chaotic is a Splatoon community member, and he literally likes and retweets everything that anyone has. Be like him.
Careful what you wish for there. Chaotic is a madman. But no,
to be fair, if he doesn't like and retweet something I post, I feel like I failed in some way.
That's true.
It's ingrained in me now. Anyways, well, that about wraps up the show. Does anyone have any closing thoughts?
No. Just the game is dying. That's it.
Shut up.
It's been dead. Came out.
It was a good run. Let you know.
Platform as ARMS.
What do you think? What do you guys think? Like, we got maybe 2 or 3 more of these shows before we just have to pack it up.
I mean, to be fair, Mario Tennis Aces is now the definitive competitive Nintendo game. I don't know if you've heard, but
I got some hard opinions about that game, and they're not good opinions.
Whoa! But we just played.
We did, and already Bowser Jr. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh yeah, Bowser Jr.
We need some patch notes. We need something, man, because. We need something.
I mean, knowing the Nintendo devs will probably just be 10% of the special meter for him. That's all we ever get.
That's something. No, though, to your point, Mario Tennis Aces is a huge viewer base right now, so there's less lie to that statement than you might think. So,
anyways, that about wraps up our show, guys. Okay, promote your stuff. Let's go. 9, I know you want to show your stream. You just started streaming.
Yeah, I did.
So start chilling.
Okay. So yeah, I just started streaming last Thursday, I want to say. So we're going to be coming up on a week soon. You can just find it Twitch, NinewholeGrains. The branding's pretty consistent all the way throughout, thankfully. Play some aces, some viewer battles, some Splatoon 2. We're looking to expand, but right now we're still kind of in the experimental phase. So come on in there, join the 9 Network, join the Grain Gang. If there are any Grain Gang members in the chat, go ahead and represent. But yeah,
I'm going to make a parody for you. I'm going to make a Gucci Gang parody.
Well, I think we're the parody of that, and that's how it came about. But in any case, follow me on Twitter if you don't already. I'm going to start retweeting more stuff, so hopefully you can help out there. But yeah, there's my shill. So,
Walkman?
I don't know. I feel like I never have anything new to this.
Okay, hold on. I'll be you. I'll be you for a second. Hey, I'm Walkman. You can follow me at Walkman_04. You know, I write articles for Ink TV. Come support the website, guys. I kind of been falling behind. I don't really like writing Splash and Crash. You know, E3 was a great event. Also support my boys. You know, Ghost Gaming. They just got signed STDX. You know, always support the scene. Retweet when you can. I'm out.
Yeah, that about covers it, right? All right. I mean, although I'm not writing, I'm working on other things.
I forgot. Sorry, guys. Go to the Summer Splat LIS. You know, support my boys. Support my boys out in New York.
Gosh.
You only said my boys like 6 times. I think that's too few.
Yeah. I don't even say my boys that much. I don't think I say it at all.
Now you know what I think of you.
He got you. I'm not gonna lie, he got you.
You know who says my boys a lot? Eirik does that. He does that a lot.
No, he says my guy.
Welcome, my guys.
There you go. See?
What's up, everybody? My guys. We're here. It's your boy Eirik. Eirik's in the chat too. I apologize.
All right, yeah, that's it for me. Kendall, how you doing?
All right. All I was gonna say is if you're looking for a great way to end your summer, or basically, end it technically, you should definitely come out to Long Island Summer Splat. It's going to be definitely a great event. It's going to be August 25th to the 26th. Sign up. You definitely already missed the early registration, so it's regular registration now.
Sign up now.
So sign up now. Sign up now. Make sure to sign up.
I will be there. Meet me in person.
Sadly, I will be at a wedding. But besides that, I also follow me on Twitch, Negus _, which Twitch so gladly let me know that because I changed my name, they will not be giving me not allow me to get partner because of it. So I have to restart all over again. So yeah, that's another thing. So I will be grinding again to try to push for partner. See you guys there.
Why don't you just change your name to Kendall?
No.
Kendall's definitely taken on Twitch.
Okay, wait, hold on. I do want to clarify something. You said so Negus is not allowed, but my Negus is allowed.
No, it's because he changed the name.
I changed my name from my _Negus, and I changed it to Negus, and they were like,
they reset his stats or something.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought it was like.
It's nowhere
like,
in their
I thought
policy.
it was like.
It is literally nowhere in their policy. I emailed them. I asked, like, you know what? I'm done. All right.
By the way, you forgot to mention. Sorry, I'm gonna plug you a little bit. I'm gonna pull a Negus here, and I'm gonna be like, hey guys, by the way, you should follow me on Twitch. It's Negus. It's a very zen stream. We put some lo-fi music on there. You know, we just have a good time and we just enjoy ourselves.
Welcome to the Negus' Corner.
Yeah, welcome to the Negus' Corner.
I'll
also, just so you know, when I don't like players, I ban them and I put them to the Shadow Realm. That's what I call people who I ban. It's called the Shadow Realm.
No, you actually missed it. We don't do that anymore.
He does that off stream. He puts on his Zen filter to make you think that he's not doing it.
Never. Who
Well,
does that?
okay, true fans of Negus' stream will know that the most common phrase is "no more, that's it, I don't care," and that's some deep inside knowledge. Like, see, he's laughing, he knows. So to all you people who watch his stream a lot, that's the real phrase.
The new Zen is the E-leader. All right,
true.
So I apologize. I've moved on from my ways. I have given a whole entire year of hating on that thing. I actually have been secretly in love with that weapon for a whole entire year. I've missed it, and I have now moved back over to my precious E-leader. Yeah, I will never betray it again. I'm always throwing with the E-leader, and I have no problem with it.
All right, so I guess we'll come to me, the Master Schiller over here. So everyone, go support our content at etv.media. We got a bunch of articles coming up. Jordan just put a tournament roundup up. We have some opinion pieces coming up. And last week, we just had a ton of articles. One being Nine, of course, being interviewed about his E3 performance. We also have an interview with Bob talking about him playing in a pickup that's in promotion for one of our future tournaments coming up, which we will announce very shortly. But it is coming out on July 5th. No, not 15th. When is it coming out? 21st. Yeah, on the 21st. So go check that out and read the article. It's really cool. And yeah, we have a bunch more coming out really shortly, and we're looking to update the site pretty soon too, to give you a 2.0 to make it so that you guys want to come back to the website a little bit more resources than just the articles, which are obviously great. Second thing, if you want to support us, support prize pools on a weekly and monthly basis, and just for anything we do, we have our Patreon, patreon.com/InkTVSplat, where you can be a patron, and it goes directly to giveaways and prize pools. We don't take any of it for ourselves or for anything within the stream. It's literally just to promote prize pools and tournaments to give back to the players. If you do want to help us out and also potentially prize pool, you can sub to us here. You get some sick emotes. We got some really dope ones. We got Nine's face. We have some sweep emotes. We got some cheers. Got really good emotes overall for $5. Ad-free viewing experience, and you help support us. Third way you can do things is you can actually donate directly on here, which will go actively to the prize pool for this Clan Blitz tournament on Thursday. But not only that, we're going to host Blake right after this, and he's going to have another marathon stream to see if you guys want to support Clan Blitz again. The prize pool is at $50 right now. It can go up by Thursday. Come tune in and help support the players. And look forward to our future content.
We get it, Spoon.
Yeah.
Listen, I got the skills, okay? What do you want?
You do got the skills.
You really do.
Like, you want me... listen, people need to hire me just to promote your brand. That's all you need me for, man. Like,
this is why you're my boy.
LIS, you bring me on LIS, man, Kendall, I'm telling you, I will be the perfect commentator. I'll pass off everything, and I'll come back and I'll be like, by the way, come to LISS. Here's a sick event. You know, I got the whole pitch down. We're good. Don't worry about
So
it.
come.
Are you
Stop
coming?
talking.
I can't come. I coincidentally
All right, so
can't
then don't
come
talk.
because as Kendall's having a wedding, it's actually my first year anniversary as well. So, anyways, see you later, guys. Enjoy Blake's stream. We'll put on some music for a little bit and then we'll tune out. See you later, guys.
Can you tell me where the hope has gone?